3. We have the box office for Sonic 3 and Mufasa. It's night and day which movie's gonna make more money. So birthday previews are usually, we know what movies are gonna do very well. But it seems that Mufasa is underperforming, doing half of the Lion. No, Mufasa is doing half of Sonic 3's total box office. Okay, this is again very, very bad news for Disney because Disney actually had a decent year this year. Okay, Moana 2 made money, not the amount of money Disney probably hoped for, but that movie made money. It had a very great opening, but had pretty poor legs, And of course we had, Deadpool do well, Inside Out do well, and I don't know what else did they release this year. But yeah, the Sonic 3 posted 6.3 million previews, but Mufasa only did 3.3 million. Again, Disney was quote unquote playing it safe of releasing this movie. But again, who asked for a live action Lion King movie? If not a sequel to that movie. Okay, the first one, Disney got a miracle with that movie, but it seems that like with the Marvels, Disney can't seem to get lightning to strike twice. Okay, Disney can't get lightning in a bottle twice as well. Sonic Hedgehog is expected to open to 60 million. But considering it's outdoing Sonic 2, it will probably do slightly the same as Sonic 2 or slightly better than Sonic 2. Okay, the first movies was around 3 million, but of course a lot of people did walk into that movie and open to 58 million. Sonic 3, is at 88% fresh. That means the monster went back up. The audience score for Sonic 3 is pretty high. I'm not too surprised by Sonic 3. Again, I don't really trust the Rotten Tomatoes audience score all too much. Okay, considering the fact that Rotten Tomatoes, they keep changing it to protect Disney. Okay, to hide the real audience score. But Sonic 3 has an 87% by the critics. Of course, the movie's not out yet, so we don't have an IMDb score. But even an IMDb score, they allow people to review movies before the movies can even come out, which means there are many people who just give bad reviews on a movie, right away. And yeah, I don't know why they're putting that 6 out of 10 IGN. No one trusts IGN that much. Okay, but Sonic 3 does have an 88%. So Sonic 3 is still currently the highest. So these numbers are actually correct. So that means Sonic 3 is the highest rated video game movie of all time. It actually dipped down to like 85 or something and went back up to 88%. That's, compared to Mufasa, which is at 57%, this is awful to Disney. Okay, because Rotten Tomatoes is supposed to be, bought and paid for by Disney. Okay, they did everything they can to keep the Marvel score fresh. Okay, they did everything to keep the Marvels a fresh score. Okay, Disney paid insurmountable amounts of money to keep the Marvels score fresh. Okay, but it seems that even Disney is losing Rotten Tomatoes. Okay, I still think a movie like Mufasa, The Lion King, should have a similar score to Joker 3. Considering the fact that, not Joker 3, Joker 2, considering the fact that people don't like these live action remakes, it's clear. Okay, yes, it works the first time, but you can't fool people a second time. Okay, I think with the live action remakes, I think people are starting to get sick of them. I think Mufasa, The Lion King is absolute proof of that. And the problem with Mufasa is, unlike last year where there's usually this big, huge movie, and then you have your animated competition, there's no real major animated movie this year for the holidays. Because last year you had Illumination release a movie, then it was Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. And next year it's going to be SpongeBob. SpongeBob's going to make a lot of money in spite of Avatar, because animated movies typically do well for the holidays because obviously kids are off, kids are going to want to see SpongeBob, adults are going to want to see Avatar, and the problem is, the young people want to see Sonic. Kids want to see Sonic, okay? Kids like Sonic, okay? Kids don't like live action Lion King, okay? If the Lion King was as true to the original, source material, which was the original 1994 movie, then the movie could have been $1 billion grossing movie, because I think everybody would want to see a sequel or a prequel to the live action Lion King with actual high quality, not the garbage direct to DVD Lion King movies that nobody liked, but an actual high quality prequel with animation. You can either use 3D or 2D animation, but the reason why Lion King was so popular and these characters were so popular was because it was an animated movie. Okay, animation may be seen as for kids, but people don't realize animation, can make characters more, expressive, especially characters like the Lion King. The difference with Sonic and like the Lion King is Sonic is already a character that's, a humanoid character. Okay, the Lion King characters are just animals, literal animals. Okay, Sonic you can actually at least adapt into live action, which has been proven with the last two movies, because you can just make Sonic a CGI character. It isn't that difficult. Okay, now, okay, you can still make Sonic a CGI character, kind of like Rocket Raccoon. Okay, Rocket Raccoon and Marvel as well. Okay, those characters do work as well. But the problem with the Lion King remake is that those characters are meant to be like that. Sonic is meant to be like that. Okay, Rocket makes sense. It makes sense. He's a genetically modified creature. Okay, he's supposed to be like that. Groot. Okay, and to even certain extent, Godzilla. Okay, Godzilla, they tried to make it as accurate to the source material as possible, but with the Lion King, it just feels like we have this perfectly fine animated movie, and Disney just wants to just change it because we want to, and I just don't understand why Disney has such a sustain for the past, okay? The stuff that built up Disney, okay? And I just don't understand why Disney can't seem to learn this lesson. Okay, why do you keep disrespecting your animated properties? Okay, you fooled us, and you fooled us in 2019. So you fooled the the normies, not us. I didn't actually. I watched Lion King on Freeform when I still had cable TV. It was awful. It was one of the worst movies I've ever watched. Some people can, cry, don't say, but you haven't seen the Lion King remake. How can you say it's one of the worst movies of all time? I watched it and it still is one of the worst movies of all time. Okay, same thing with the Aladdin remake. It is one of the worst movies of all time. Okay, in my opinion. Okay, and when it's only slightly higher than the actual bad movies like Birdemic, Finding Jesus. Okay, or Star Wars The Holiday Special, to give a few. Okay? But it seems that these soulless live action remakes, okay? There's a reason why people constantly call these movies soulless, okay? And no, Mario Wonder is not soulless, but the movies that should be called soulless are these live action remakes that don't add anything, okay? This is the furthest proof that the Lion King remake aged like milk. Okay, the Lion King remake aged like milk. This movie aged so poorly and so awfully that this movie's doing half of Sonic. Okay, I was expecting it to be like 5 million for the 4 to 5 million for the. It was around 50 million, but they said that this movie is underperforming so much. They're comparing it to Wonka and Spider-Verse, which means we're going to have a 30 to 40 million opening with the Lion King prequel. Okay? It's doing the same as Spider-Verse. Okay? Sink that in. Actually, it's doing worse than Spider-Verse. Okay? It's doing worse than Spider-Verse and Wonka. Okay? I don't think it's going to have the same saving as Wonka and Spider-Verse. Okay? It'll probably do well throughout the holiday season, obviously, but people have been saying throughout the internet, people are not interested in Mufasa. Okay? People are not interested in this movie. The difference between these and Spider-Verse is a well-beloved movie. And the word of mouth spread like wildfire. Okay? With that movie. Same thing with Puss in Boots or Last Rest. I wouldn't be surprised if the Mufasa the Lion King makes less money than Puss in Boots. Okay? Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it does worse than Puss in Boots. Okay, the reason why Puss in Boots did so well is because people like that movie, and usually, if people like a movie, it will actually overperform ratings wise. Okay, and we have several examples of this. Mario movie, okay, the Mario movie, overperformed its projections, and then it did really, really well throughout April until other movies came out like Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and then people want to see that movie, obviously, you know. Yeah. Yeah, but if it's doing worse than Spider-Verse, okay, these movies, both Wonka did do pretty well internationally, okay. I'm looking at Wonka's box office right now, okay. So Wonka had $125 million budget, okay. Wonka did eventually was able to make $600 million globally, but that was because of word of mouth of that movie, because people actually liked that movie, okay. I never seen it. I don't really care about, Willy Wonka. I like the original and I like the 2005 movie. But hey, people liked it. People thought it was a decent movie. Okay, people thought it was a decent movie. And guess what? I was correct about Wonka. The movie became a super hit because it will get all the competition. And I knew Mike Grayson would do way better than expected, but Aquaman would be the big loser of the holidays. I think with Lion King, you're competing with three other family movies because there is no way Wicked and Moana 2 will not make any money throughout the holidays. Okay, Lord of the Rings and Craven flopped. They bombed. Okay, so the four biggest movies of the holidays is gonna be Mufasa, Sonic, Wicked, and Moana. Okay, and Mufasa is gonna, because Wicked and Moana already made money. Okay, these two movies already broke even a long time ago. Wicked and Moana. Okay, they already broken even already. Okay, yeah, yeah. Wicked already made back its money. Again, it's not doing too well internationally, but the movie made $544 million globally, which is a lot of money, and Moana 2 even made more, $700 million. Last time I looked, last time we checked the box office. So these movies already made broken even, and they already agreed with a Sonic 4. Okay, that's how confident they are in the movie. And also, they're saying that Sonic 3 is gonna do way worse than Mufasa globally, but the movie's not out until globally. We spoke that yesterday. It is not out yet in international markets until Christmas. It's only releasing in Ireland and only releasing in Norway and the domestic market, which includes Canada and US. Okay, so that's already a big embarrassment for the Mufasa movie because we gotta look at how well Sonic, okay, does against on international box office, which is the Christmas weekend. Okay, but they already confirmed Sonic 4, okay, is in development. They said Sonic 4 is in development, which means they're so competent in this movie, which we're judging based off the previews. This is the big event movie, one of the big event movies of the year. I don't think Sonic 3 will make $1 billion because Sonic is not really too popular outside the United States. Obviously, Sonic has always been the most popular in America. Okay, but the fact that they already greenlit a fourth movie days before the movie even came out, and looking at the previews, okay, basically, but they already said that there's a fourth Sonic movie coming, and Mufasa lost. Disney lost the battle against Sonic. And I think they're gonna try to avoid. I think is Avatar 4 coming? Yeah, they're gonna avoid Avatar 4 most likely. 2027 movies. Yeah, Sonic 4 is coming out in 2027. So we have Sonic 4. We have Godzilla coming out next year. Okay, no, in 2020. We'll still get 2027 movies. Not many movies, but we have Godzilla. Okay, so Godzilla is getting another movie. Sonic is getting another movie, probably within March. We have Avengers. We have another Minions. And I think we have Frozen. Oh, we don't have Avatar releasing. So the four made for, and of course you have Avengers, you have Godzilla. So we only have like 4 or 5 movies already for 2027. So you have Godzilla and and December is not really known for the big openings. Like when we all saw the Avatar opening, like yeah, Avatar was a flop. Avatar was a flop. Everyone was saying Avatar was a flop, but once we saw the Christmas sales come in, okay, was I think we all need to forget. We all need to we all forgot that Christmas box office is very great for movies. Okay, but the fact that this movie is doing better than the second movie. Okay, the second movie, they said the movie would do a franchise worse. Okay, they said the movie will do a franchise worst, but we were seeing the numbers here and it's doing better than the second movie. Okay, the second movie, okay, we'll look at the second movie. The second movie managed to make $400 million. The first movie managed to make another $400 million, which means most likely the third movie will can make more than $400 million. Okay, and it could be Mufasa globally. This is a massive embarrassment for Disney, 100%. I just don't understand how Disney can recover from this. I really don't. Okay, Disney will recover from this. But Disney's going to have this as a flop. And of course, Snow White's going to flop, too. We all know that's going to flop. Even with nothing coming out, Snow White's going to flop. Okay? And Sonic 3 has no real competition outside Moana 2 and Wicked, which already broken even, and Mufasa until Dogman. So Sonic 3 is gonna be its, Mufasa, already was kind of screwed from the get-go. Like, they, I think they just put this movie, like, they were hoping that people actually because of course The Lion King, the first movie, nearly made $1 billion. Its remake, that aged very poorly, also nearly made over $1 billion. But the remake did way worse than the original. Okay, I think the remake, if you adjust the first movie for adjust the first movie for inflation, considering that Lion King is a childhood staple for many people, not just, for 90s kids, but also for 2000s kids, and like even 2010s kids, because The Lion King is a classic movie. It's a childhood staple for millions and millions of people. Okay, this is a movie, and I bet even 2020s, the original Lion King is a childhood staple. But the remake is not gonna be, because the remake is terrible. Okay? The remake is garbage. Okay? People do not like bad movies. Okay? And usually when they make a sequel to a bad movie, the movie fails. The movie flops, and it does horribly. The Marvels is one such example. No one needed a sequel to Brie Larson's Captain Marvel. And I do think that Disney's going to have another mediocre year next year. This year, Disney played it safe of all the major movies, but they pushed all the movies that they thought they knew would flop to next year, like Snow White, Elio. They pushed Elio. Captain America Brave New World was pushed to next year because the Disney 2023 box office is catastrophic. Okay? But yeah, Disney is absolutely an embarrassment. Okay? Absolutely embarrassment. Okay? But hey, they still have Moana 2, but Moana 2 is underperforming so much because of people not liking the movie. Okay, Moana 2, I think the real scores for Moana 2, are like the movie's like mediocre. Of course, IMDb is trying to keep the score at 7 out of 10 to protect Disney, obviously. Because it's funny. IMDb only protects Disney, ironically. Unironically. All the studios don't get protection from IMDb except for Disney. Okay, except for Disney. Disney always gets protection with these movies, and I wouldn't be surprised if Mufasa the Lion King is 7 out of 10 on IMDb. Okay, because Disney is gonna, IMDb is gonna try to protect Disney, but IMDb cannot save Disney. Okay, it cannot save Disney and Disney's failures throughout the past 4 years. Okay, the numbers are talking. And Mufasa's gonna make a lot of money throughout the Christmas weekend, obviously. Sonic 3, but however, it will still play second fiddle to Sonic throughout the whole Christmas weekend. Okay? I think, and of course with Wicked and Moana at a distant third and fourth place. Okay? That's gonna be how the Christmas weekend. And then of course the more minor movies like Noah Sifu and stuff, and Craven, as well, and War of the Rings, Gladiator, I like the distant. But I said before, Christmas, weeks ago on Thanksgiving, that Wicked and Moana would be staying around for Christmas and New Year's. Okay. Afterwards, they will probably, of course, decline in the box office, obviously, and get out of theaters to make room for newer movies. But I think Warner and Disney know, hey, if Moana 2 and Wicked are huge enough, they'll stay around for 2 holiday seasons. Okay. Actually, I looked at Joker's box office. Joker didn't actually stay around for Christmas. They took Joker out of Christmas. Okay, but it would have been funny if they did keep Joker in for Christmas. Try to keep Joker in as long as possible. They sort of did that. Excuse me, but they kept Joker in for Thanksgiving, and they sort of kept Joker for Christmas as well. Okay, but yeah, that's what this video here. Goodbye.